Good afternoon, accelerators. Got a bunch of really great questions from your teams out there. Where you want to go in sales, starting new businesses, leadership, focus. Really great questions from everybody from barbershops to boat repair and maintenance places to people in multi-level marketing wanting to start their own businesses. Super appreciate these. So, yeah, I'm just gonna go and get started. Can I get a thumbs up? Is anybody seeing this live in the group? I just want to make sure we're doing this correctly today. I'll dive right into the questions. The first question is from Sam Tran. What suggestions do you have to help me create more prospects in my new business? So, Sam has started a network marketing company. So, just kind of looking at expanding past his friends and family as his target market. And every business, we really have to do that. Really, what my suggestion would be: start joining as many groups, getting out to as many functions as possible, at least one per day, right? So in this case, I'm going live in a group. So getting out on some Facebook groups might be have some impact, but actually getting out in your community, meeting with people, joining a soccer team, joining a birding group, joining a church group, and getting out and really building relationships, not only one on one, but in groups is super important. So I'd be looking for things in your community, how you can connect with people, and then also contributing online to kind of grow your brand a little bit. Because if you meet somebody in church and somebody else sees you online and asks somebody in that church about you, you're just connected with 1 to 2 degrees of separation. And really, you want to be able to expand your network and really build your brand. So I'd say a mix of online presence and in-person groups. Toastmasters, I'll come back to that with another question. Church groups, helping out with nonprofits, big events in your community. It's Halloween tonight. Talk to people as you're out there, your friends' kids. If you don't have kids, help out and volunteer. We've got on our street, I think we've got 2 sets of big parties with fireworks going off. So if I want to grow my business, I go to those places, shake some hands, ask people what they do for work, ask them lots of questions, and eventually they'll turn to you and ask you what you do. So definitely get out there. It's a good week to make money, even though it's Halloween and your kids might go crazy on the amount of sugar they're having. So get out there and network. Next question is from Ricardo Delgado. Premium barbershops, love his questions so regularly. He's got some good ones. What has been a good percentage of return for investors in companies? So Ricardo's looking at starting a second business and he wants to bring on some investors to get a piece of the pie and help him grow that second business. So in looking at that, the first thing I did is what are the historical rates of returns? What are the historical rates of return that people get from the stock market? And on average, it's about 10%. So if you're thinking about what you want to offer somebody, you got to beat that 10%. If if you got a rock solid business and almost guaranteed returns of 12, 13, 14, 15%, you might be able to attract some people because the stock market has taken a hit recently. But even, sorry about that. Even savings accounts are at about 5, 6%, 4% on the low end. So 10%, 12% is double that, but probably double the risk with a new venture. So if you can push that return prospectus, you should never guarantee this, but if you can push it to the 20% range, that's really going to get people excited. But I think you need to be at least in that 15% range to have some good discussions with people who know about money and investments. And then if you really want to get people invested, you got to be able to show how you can hit 20%. Hard to do. Don't don't overpromise, but say if these things I believe to be true, and these other people believe to be true, like this is how the market's going to grow and rebound, then we should be able to get a 20% return on investment, and you'll get people's attention, I think, with that. So give that a try, and yeah, let me know how it goes on getting those investors. Next question is from Sean Gagnon. Have you ever tried an SEO company, and what should I look for when trying to increase awareness through SEO for my business? And I believe his background is he sells boats and his inventory is pretty full. I need to reach as many as people as I can in my state and the states around me. Great question. Love this question. I'm always boat shopping. So this kind of resonates with me. So for SEO, search engine optimization, I think it's definitely worth investing in your website and putting content on there. So hiring somebody for that is difficult, to say the least. There's definitely lots of experts on SEO, but they're often not experts in boats and in your industry and in your state. So I'd probably hire somebody to advise and tweak your SEO, and your search engine optimization. My strategy for my website is produce content on our website. Produce it first, put it up on our website, and then also put it on places where other people are, right? So right now, the hottest thing is video. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, uh, even LinkedIn. But definitely when we're talking about boating, Facebook and Instagram are going to be two places where people are looking at boat videos all the time. So I'd recommend also YouTube as well, like Wavy Boats. I've got FMB, Fishing Means Business, a boating and fishing channel. So I would definitely recommend video and on page texts and articles that kind of support what you're doing. So if you're not a great writer, definitely hire somebody to write about boats and boat engines and the boats that you have. Definitely having, if you're in the retail business or use retail, having a page directly on your website with your inventory and a good write up on each of it. You can use Bard or ChatGPT or any of the AIs to create a pretty good summary of each boat and then tweak it yourself, right? So if you've got a Grady White 272 or 282, you can get Bard or ChatGPT to write a blog post or write a for sale or a for sale post for that boat and put it up on your website. If you don't have the time and the knowledge to do it, definitely hire somebody to do that for you. Then have an SEO expert kind of tweak your boat for sale pages. And then do a video, do a walk around. There are some really good people who are creating videos on boats and almost every other product out there. There is a new YouTube channel. I mean, one of the opportunities is if you do a boat video every week and you put it up on YouTube, there's a chance you can get YouTube revenue, right? So they place ads in the middle of the videos, and you could be earning some money as you sleep once you get to a certain level. But consistency is key. So if you can do one video a week, put it on your website, also put it on all of your channels, and definitely an SEO person or any web person can do that for you as well. So definitely ask anybody who's offering SEO services how they generate content, how much content they generate. I had somebody who said they wanted to do like one article a month, where I'm like 3 to 4 articles a week is kind of very doable using a mix of AI and customization to produce really good written content for your website. You can also do AI video as well. You can go down that road. I think you can produce pretty damn good video just using your iPhone, your webcam, and yeah, definitely some of the best video is just walking around, hopefully having some good sound or good mic and showing all of the parts of what you're selling. People want to see it. And you can add those same videos to your Facebook marketplace ads for your boats, or you can place it in on the Whole Truth. You could place it on any number of platforms. And really, that's where I'd be spending my time, creating video and having somebody create blogs kind of related to that on AI. Like what's the best offshore fishing boat, right? And if you've got 3 to 4 offshore fishing boats that are Grady Whites, Boston Whalers, Parkers, whatever it is, that'll help drive some local traffic. And then also do place as well. Hit the big cities, write articles about boating in, best marinas in, best boat repair places in, Chesapeake Bay or wherever you're based. I think you might be based in New Jersey. So lots of tactics you can use, but definitely ask SEO experts what they're using, how much volume they can produce, and their expertise in video. All right. Next question is from Bobby Perez. How do I get more focused on a few things that'll actually get me better results? So, super good question. How do you get focused? One book I'd recommend for you right off the bat is One Thing. That was from the founder of Kelly Williams Real Estate, I believe. Uh, great book about how you can get better at doing one thing that'll help your business grow. As far as Bobby's background, he's a GC, general contractor, and does property rentals as an investor, and he's looking to bring a new mezcal brand to the US. I have a lot going on, but my day to day is general contracting. He's not super organized, not great with computers, and hands on to use paper files. I mean, it's great that you're helping get your focus by joining accelerators and you're working with Shauna as a coach. So my recommendation is if you're good with paper and you're not good with computers, find somebody who's good with computers. Don't try and fix who you are and modify it for somebody else's systems. Get somebody who can help you change that paper into digital, how to make you more efficient using digital, helping you with your calendar, helping you with your priorities. One thing I always recommend, I don't have it with me today, but I am definitely going to have it tomorrow, is write in a journal what your top 3 priorities for the day are, or your one thing, your most important daily outcome, a MIDO it's called, and prioritize one thing every single day or your top 3 things for the week. Figure out what works for you and write that down in a journal the night before or first thing when you get up in the morning to really get focused and help you kind of keep the rhythm going. I also plan on a quarterly. So if my big quarterly priorities are to help my team with their sales playbook and get a sales rhythm going, that is one of my 3 priorities for the quarter. Not gonna have 4, not gonna have 5, 3 max, because if I get 1 or 2 of them done, I'm winning, all right? But it is definitely hard, so I would concentrate on 1 priority daily, maybe 3 for the quarter, and possibly 3 for the week, but really try and get something done each day to move things forward on your current business, and then make a decision which of your other businesses are worth either handing off to an assistant or growing, right? If you're doing a new mezcal brand, I would hire somebody full time and give like a drop dead date for when you're like, oh, this person's a good return on investment. When is their ROI determination going to be made in the first week, first 3 weeks, first month? And the same with the brand, because you can sink a lot of money into a new brand. Look what people have done with Prime, but how many people did do well with energy drinks, so or rehydration drinks like Gatorade. So really give yourself some deadlines, and put people in charge of those businesses, right? You can't run 3 businesses super well. I suggest finding somebody to take on maybe the marketing and the launching the sales for the mezcal brand, because you can't run the GC and the mezcal brand and all your investor stuff super well. I personally believe that you need help. So figure out somebody who can take on one of those brands and take a lot of that stress off you, and somebody to help you get organized. Paper files are fine, but if you want to grow your business, you can't have 10 people sending you paper files every week, or else your paper just piles up. You need to get that digitized, systemized, so it's easy to search through and you can grow the business. All right. Next question comes from Carl Clark. So, how often should I be meeting with my team to keep a great company culture and prevent any team conflicts? Number one, don't prevent any team conflicts. Conflict is good. It helps weed out people who aren't willing to speak their mind. Um, it also, you need to watch it because there could be bullies. So definitely, conflict is okay, but you need a great culture that makes sure that the conflict is productive. So how do you can get that going? He's in New Jersey with a cleaning company of 8 people. Don't have an office. We do a lot of texting for communication. Speak with the team daily. How do I create a better culture and increase team loyalty and grow the company? So my suggestion is to build a habit or a schedule. I like to meet with my team on a weekly basis and then a quarterly basis. You don't have to meet with your team every week. You don't have to meet with them every quarter. But I think that's kind of a minimum. Some people do a daily stand up huddle, which you can do over Zoom, right? If everybody's got a smartphone, you can do a daily stand up huddle. Don't know if that's needed for cleaning company, but definitely ask around other people in the same industry or the same type of service where you're traveling from place to place. How do you keep that culture going, and how do you meet? What's your rhythm? So we meet once a month. We do what's called a level 10. We've got a good agenda. We start off with wins, personal and business, and then we get into the meeting. Um, what's important? What are customers saying? Are there any employee problems? Any suggestions of improvements? So have at least, I think, once a week, and then also once quarterly, a team meeting, and you can make it virtual. Our team meets virtually. We have people in hundreds and hundreds of miles away. Somebody's flying in next week. We're going to meet in person when we can, but you don't have to meet in person. It helps if you can meet quarterly in person. That's great. If you're in the same town, you should. Right. Then you can celebrate wins. You can share a bonus check with somebody if that's happening, or if somebody did a really great job, recognize them. Right. So I think those are really important things on building a company culture. And also, be willing to be humble and have people suggest things, and also you be wrong. And that'll help people kind of foster collaboration, but also be willing to push back and make changes, because sometimes we as entrepreneurs don't make the best decisions. And if people feel like stepping forward, creating a bit of conflict, hopefully it'll result in a better product for a customer, better employee retention and loyalty. Next question is from Madeline. How do I figure out what would be my first company? So I had a great meeting earlier in the week with a Ukrainian entrepreneur who left a new business. So similar kind of stage as you. Um, so I'm not going to go into the full background, but Madeline's a good speaker and a trainer for medical assistants, a hard worker, and she'd like to take her training and experience and good communication skills and find out what business would be good for her to start. Excellent question. The nice thing is you're a good communicator, and you probably built a bit of a network, right? So I would start with asking as many people locally, what do they need? What's missing? What is an unmet need that people have? Right? So look for those opportunities where there's gaps, right? That you might be able to fill. Love that you got a training background, and that you've got communication skills. I definitely recommend looking at what you can do with those communication skills to really scale your audience. I was on YouTube yesterday, and there was a small bike shop owner in a town of 7,000. And he now has a YouTube channel that's making him $2.50 every hour, 24 hours a day. And it's taken him a while to get there, but it's amazing income stream that he's been able to develop because he's a good communicator. And he didn't just concentrate on the one part of his business. He started thinking, oh, how can I scale and scale my communication to a larger audience? So he's probably got an amazing brand within his own community, but now he's got a brand that's going across the US and around the world. So definitely look for opportunities to communicate on a larger level, continue your expertise in training. If you ever get a chance, uh, take one of Tony Robbins' free courses. I don't recommend doing his paid stuff unless you're doing really well. But he's a master communicator and a master salesperson and a trainer too, right? So I wouldn't pay for his gold level courses and his big stuff. If he comes to your city, it is worth going to some of his events if you can get a discount ticket. But look for those sales trainers, emulate them. Think about being able to sell maybe some training courses. Don't get into this big thing that you're going to make millions of dollars selling training online, but it might be an additional income stream as you find a business that people need in your community or anywhere else in the country, right? So ask questions about unmet needs and yeah, go with that communicating style. Like put it out there. Post a Facebook post on, hey, what do people think would be a great business to start in 2024? What do you think people need right now, or is there something that you can't get in your local community? Ask really good questions. Go back to that networking, meeting people in person. Ask them what businesses they really love as well, right? Because you might be able to find a business that is doing well that you can put a different twist on, not copy, but rip off and duplicate, R&D, but also improve, right? Next question is from Alex Wilkins. How do I become a better leader in my service-based positions? All right. How to become a better leader in my service-based business. I have a design landscaping business, and we do custom curbing, trim, retaining walls, etc. Now, I need a retaining wall for my camper. I live on a slope. Our property is on a slope, and I'd love to be able to pop my camper down. So, need to build a retaining wall. So, respect the work you do. Super challenging. And how can you get your team members to level up so they can run the jobs and free you up, but also have sufficient skill to take care of customers and equipment and pride? Wow. Not easy. It's mentally tough for Alex and all of us to lead while also taking care of the hard parts of our business. So the big thing I would start to do is concentrate on, 1 to 2 employees who you think are doing really well, and try and touch base with them every day and help them in their journey. So, what's working well for you today? Start with something positive and help kind of reinforce that, right? Recognize in front of all your employees when somebody takes care of equipment well or a customer well or does a great job, right? So really articulating, even if it's something you're like, oh, they only did that kind of 80% as good as I did. 80% is pretty damn good for somebody who's maybe only 1 year in or 2 years in or is on their first month of the job. Recognizing the hard work they did will really kind of give them pride, right? So one of the free ways to bonus people is verbally recognize them, give them kudos. Um, that goes back to your meeting rhythm and your one-on-one mentoring as well, right? So if you can do it publicly with some people, that's super good. With other people, it's that one-on-one. Hey, you did a really good job taking care of customer X. How did that feel? Asking them good questions, kind of cement it in their mind what is really working for them, or if they took care of equipment really well. And yeah, I mean, rule of threes, pick 3 employees and really trying to build that habit with them, right? And kind of think, oh, who are the top 3 that I can train and help the most? And try and touch base with them daily or at the very least weekly and help them with that development. Um, lots of lots of good books there on how to become a better leader in your service business. I'd check out Alex Hermosi. He's got a service business mentality. A little bit of a snake oil salesman, personally. I think that whoever's the next Gary V, whoever's saying a lot online, take it all with a grain of salt. But sometimes they have some really great things to say about sales and leadership as well. But follow some great leaders who are really good leaders. Check their employee reviews to see what their current employees are saying about them before you think, oh, Mr. Wonderful from the Dragon's Den or from Shark Tank is a great leader. You need to really get under the covers, really find out if that person is a great leader. Find somebody locally. Look within the accelerators organization for other people who are great leaders as well. I hope that's helpful, and I hope you guys are killing it. Yeah, October, November, as we get into December, some businesses are shifting, but there's always opportunity to either increase that marketing, increase those sales in the coming months, or even capitalize on existing sales. So hope you're killing it. Talk to you soon, and thanks for the great questions.